and welcome to another Fundamental Friday. This week we will discuss Reef. It's a fairly complicated project, but I'll try to use words that explain it as easy as possible. So this is their main website, reef.finance. So why Reef? So the problems that they try to solve is a liquidity problem, the yield problem, and the fragmentation problem. And in easy words, liquidity is the money available in the market. The yield problem is the fact that you continuously need to search for different websites, different exchanges that give you a better return on investment, either in staking or lending it out. And then the fragmentation problem is that the interface of every exchange is different. So every time you find a website with a better yield, you need to really look into how does this website work? Do I trust it? Doing the research. And yeah, if you want to have the best yields and the best returns on your investment, you need to be continuously up to date of what gives you the best returns. So Reef, it's powered by Polkadot, and it uses Polkadot's forkless upgradability. This means that when there is a better technology on the market, like we went from proof of work now to proof of stake, and every consensus obviously wants to be updated and wants to stay the best. No one wants to become old. And forkless means that there is no, like in Bitcoin, there is always forks. Like we have Bitcoin Cash, where the blockchain just splits into two separate blockchains because part of the miners thinks there is a better way to use the consensus model. Polkadot doesn't have this, so they keep following the same line, which is easier to blend in new updates to the protocol. Then I want to go to the frequently asked questions. So what is DeFi? In general, of course, it's very important what is DeFi. And DeFi is a decentralized finance. What does it mean, decentralized finance? Well, decentralized finance means that there is no centralized institution needed anymore to put lenders in contact with borrowers or to put sellers in contact with buyers. Currently, as we all know, we have banks that do the whole financial process, and DeFi means that that is not needed anymore. That we can connect the buyer and the seller directly through the blockchain. So what is Reef? Reef is a smart liquidity aggregator and yield engine that enables trading with access to liquidity from both centralized exchanges and decentralized exchanges, while offering smart lending, borrowing, staking, mining to AI personalized Reef yield engine. Difficult words, but what they actually do is making sure that the market becomes more efficient. So currently, as you know, on all the exchanges, the decentralized exchanges and the centralized exchanges, the prices are all a little different, and everyone is always looking for the right price. But in order to have a more efficient market, you need more liquidity in the market. What does it mean, liquidity in the market? So the fact that we can do technical analysis on a market means that we have buying and we have selling offers on the market. And that's where the price bounces in between. So without these buying and selling orders, sorry, the market would be complete volatile because it just matches buyers and sellers that are only doing market orders. So if you do a market order, you buy or you sell for any price that any person offers. And if we would only deal with market orders, if everyone would deal with market orders, we would have a very, very volatile market. And because there is sellers and buyers that have those orders, you provide liquidity, and it's mostly also cheaper to buy with buying and selling orders, because the fees are just lower, because that's what markets want, that's what exchanges want, liquidity. So the market becomes more or less predictable and more or less stable. So what Reef does is trying to connect all the markets with each other and put all the liquidity together. So you get a very stable, mature market. And next to that, what they also do is, just like banks all have their different rates, different interest rates, different borrow rates, what Reef wants to do is finding the best one for you, just so for the customer. So making sure that the customer gets the best return that the market offers in general. So that is a AI, so a computer robot driven personalized engine. So the Reef engine will search exactly for what you want in your returns. What can you do with the Reef token? So we're in the next one. So governments mean you can vote with your token on upgrades in the system or payouts in the system. You can also make money on protocol fees. So if you have people doing transactions with the Reef token, there is a transaction fee included. This goes to the protocol fees. Then you can do staking with Reef and get a return on investment by staking and locking up your coin. And then you have yield distribution, meaning that you can choose your payout ratio. So you can get either payout or you can accumulate more, and that becomes more in a longer term. So quite some possibilities. Then why is Reef built on Polkadot? As you know, I discussed Polkadot in an earlier video, and I explained that Polkadot wants to become the mother of blockchains. So it connects all daughter blockchains. Because, for example, in the past, if you were a protocol built on Ethereum, like Uniswap, you won't be able to connect to other tokens from other blockchains, and you're only limited to other Ethereum solutions. So what Polkadot does is making sure that like Zilliqa can be connected with Cardano, and Cardano can be connected to Ethereum, and name it all. So it really wants to connect all blockchains with each other. Then I want to show you the white paper that I found. And in the white paper I highlighted. So yes, as I said, the liquidity problem, as they describe it in their white paper, liquidity is the availability to trade a large quantity of assets at any time without causing a drastic change in its price, known as slippage. So imagine if you are willing to trade a huge amount of a certain cryptocurrency and there is no liquidity in the market, as I said, so there's no buying and selling orders in the market waited to be executed. Everything is just a market order. It means that you have no idea what you're going to pay for your currency. So you have no, if you want to buy let's say 100 million Ethereum, you have no idea what is going to be your average price because there's not enough liquidity in the market to provide that. So that is a problem for traders, and that is a problem especially for the institutions that want to jump in and want to do big quantities at the same time. And Reef will be a solution for these institutions. So the institutions are already entering for Bitcoin, but if this is becoming a global scale, then Reef will be used a lot by institutions and other corporations. Then, as we discussed, here another example. Hence, the current climate is such that centralized exchanges they lack security. So the centralized exchanges that have all their data on a centralized space, they are obviously lacking security. There's a lot of being centralized exchanges that are already been hacked, while the decentralized exchanges, which are relatively new, have low liquidity and large slippage, meaning that traders and institutions don't want to buy at decentralized exchanges and are still depending on Binance, Coinbase, and Kraken, and those huge exchanges. There's an absence of options in the middle that can hedge the downsides of these two types of liquidity sources. So now it's either you buy in a low liquidity exchange or you buy it at an exchange that is not very secure. Then there's the DeFi fragmentation problem. In DeFi, different platforms and products are built like wallet gardens and tend to be highly complex to use, forming a higher barrier of entry for people who want to participate, but lack sufficient financial knowledge. So this is obviously still a new market. Cryptocurrency is something new, but try to imagine when the internet was new. There was a time that the internet was new, which we can hardly imagine. And if I ask you now, how does the internet work? It's very hard to explain. I personally also don't know how it exactly works. I just know that we have interfaces as where you're looking into now, and that part I understand. So somebody built an interface with JavaScript that makes us understanding. So what Reef wants is create like an easy come, easy go interface where you can have access to big liquidity. So it's for um, big investors, but it's also for small investors, just to make it easy, and that all parts that either you want to borrow, lend, stake, buy, trade, that's all the same interface, so that it becomes easier. You don't need multiple exchanges to get your best rates. Then we have, so how are they proposing to remove that and to improve that? By a global liquidity aggregator. Reef is a DeFi liquidity aggregator that will aggregate liquidity from decentralized exchanges, centralized exchanges, liquidity pools, and other source into one global pool. So they want to put everything together, all the buying and selling orders all together, and with that you create a huge market for trading and a more stable market for trading and investing. Then they want to start the smart yield farming aggregator. Reef also functions as a DeFi yield engine, which abstracts away the execution complexities of opportunities in DeFi. So if you are willing to stake your currency, or you want to borrow out your Bitcoin, Reef will find the best solution for you with the highest returns and the biggest safety standard. So non-custodial, Reef is a decentralized non-custodial protocol. Assets are controlled by the users themselves and not stored on the platform. So centralized exchanges, if you, for example, go to like the biggest Bitcoin wallets are always from exchanges, because as you know, not your keys, not your crypto. So if you're not owner of the keys, you're not the owner of the real crypto, meaning that exchanges have them on their balance, and once you sell them, they sell it back to you for fiat currency. So what Reef does, they are not keeping it centralized. You are still owner of your assets, and they just find the best solution for you and give you a very small commission. So you don't have to search anymore for the best solution. It's just given to you. So yeah, that's what Reef really wants to offer. It's still early stage. Then I would like to discuss the founder and CEO, which is Denko Mancheski. He was involved in some other crypto projects. He started as a programmer and a web developer. Then he became a chief technology officer in Adelpio, if I pronounce it well. Adel is a global cryptocurrency community that is self-regulated, self-sustained, and offers its own economic ecosystem with Upload Token. So he got some experience here as a technology officer. Then he became the CTO of a social video platform without advertisement, so also more decentralized solution for video platform. And then he became the CEO and co-founder of his own project called Reef, trying to, again, put it all together in the same spot. So then I wanted to go to the Reef Twitter. This is their Twitter account. They have 86,000 followers, which is quite an amount if you compare it with the other cryptocurrencies. They're posting quite regular. Here you have the 15th of March. We have 20 hours ago. And for me, it's always important that they keep posting. Means that the community is very active. We can also see they have respondings, they have a lot of likes. That is just very important. And if you're interested, you can read about their latest news. So now you know more about the project and the possibilities. Let's go to the token. So the Reef token, currently on rank 135 and down, unfortunately. The market cap is around 444 million. There will be only 20 billion in supply, and half of that is already given. In circulating supply, it already hit almost 16 billion, so there's still 4 billion to be minted, meaning added to the market. Where are they available? They are in quite a few markets available. Most known is Binance. You can also swap them on Uniswap, the Ethereum decentralized exchange. Then let's go to the max. We're currently we had quite a correction. He already hit the 5 cents twice. So it's you can say that it will be more likely to hit it a third time. It will hit more likely the 5 than the 10. That's how I would see it. But as you can see, since the beginning of this year, it has a very nice stable growth. Then I wanted to go to trading view. Here we can see it. I created a line where's the support region, and you can see that there's a stable grow. After reading, my more or less average estimation is hitting around $15 by the end of this year, which is quite an increase still expected. Even in 5 years, I expect this to be $75 if they're really willing and able to do what their promises are. So that said, that's the end of this video. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please reach out to me and have a nice weekend. Bye.